I'm just 1 second. Which is why I'm like headless right now. Okay, let's see. My channel. Upcoming live that is actually live. There we go. Alright, we're here. So, we didn't get all the products photographed on the 11th, whatever day that was. That was Wednesday. And then I ended up having a massive fight with my photos last night to get them actually uploaded to Shopify, which always fun, always fun. So we're going to finish up photographing on the live today because why not? Yes, my microphone is in the way, but that way you could actually hear me. Let's like put it kind of off screen. Those are presents for the kids, so we're just going to ignore them. We're going to start with the triangle pouch that I missed on Wednesday. I am here since it's early with my coffee. This coffee cup's from Mazza House Pottery. I haven't actually been on stream this early ever because normally I am going for a run. I am still going to go for a run today, but I'm just going to do it later. I need to get in and get this done, and then I can do the other stuff today. What are you talking? Oh, okay. Getting email notifications and everything like that. Anyway, so we've got a little triangle pouch here, which is the citrus on pink, and it's a Dobby. So we're doing the kind of like master listing style of posting products this time, which is they're all going under one listing, and then you can select a variant basically of it. Because I realized that I need to start actually let's make sure I didn't photograph that. Anyway, I need to start collecting reviews on items, and excuse me, you can't really collect views of items when they're all one-off and you're never going to post under that name again. So it's going to go under one master listing because it will improve my SEO, and because then I can start collecting reviews on it. However, what I'm doing at the top of those is I am giving you kind of like a Coles Notes, like a head note, not a footnote, a head note, about like with definitions of what I mean with stuff. So like when I say Dobby, I provide the explanation that I mean this slubby, warp and weft cotton. That's like very distinct to Japan. I'm sure it's produced elsewhere, but I don't shop at fancy enough quilt shops and like other fabric stores in Canada to find it here, so I associate it with Japanese fabrics because that's where I buy it. So today we are going to work on the cake cozies, and then we're going to work on the stitch markers, and then we're going to work on the crossbody straps because they need to go up. Whew. And then if it gets a little bit lighter, we're going to go around and photograph the big bags on the door, I think. I haven't completely decided how I'm going to photograph those. Probably should take them upstairs where it's a little bit brighter than the basement, because then I can get photos that are a little bit easier to edit. That's the big thing. These all need editing, especially even in this like photo box, because it does tend to give them a fairly it's a very uniform kind of edit I always have to do to them. So this is how you use a cake cozy. So you'll take your cake cozy, you take your ball of yarn, cake of yarn. This is a very beaten up cake of yarn. It has been around for years. It's Ancient Arts Yarn Socknado in the Little Wild Things colorway, and I intended to do a design from it. It hasn't happened. It will eventually. Anyway, you take your cake cozy, you pop it over, and then as you can see, this one's actually a little bit larger, so you probably could fit a cake of DK in there, but it'll hold your cake together. You can work from the interior and exterior of that ball then as well. What else do I need to say about it? That's basically it. Cake cozies always take a little bit of time to photograph because obviously I have to take the cake in and out of it every single time. That's why I shouldn't have left them till the end, but I did. Should know myself better. Don't leave it to the end, Katie. Okay, we have 2 of the Sassy Cat patchwork, at least. Sorry, so gosh. So what I decided to do with these master listings is that I was going to add text to the photos. So when you go into Shopify, you can select a variant, and that takes you to the photo of the bag. That's the variant. But when you're clicking on the photos in the like preview box, no. So it's like, I'm pretty sure that stuff is getting like lost because people don't know what the name is that I'm using for this stuff, right? Because like I try to be kind of creative with my names, blah blah blah, all of that. And okay, I'm gonna set that aside so I know I have 2 of them. Everything else is 1. Anyway, and but I had already mostly uploaded my photos already because I've been photographing and editing for the last week, so I may as well upload them as I do it, sort of thing. And then I got into a fight with Shopify of like, it wouldn't show me more images. I used a different browser. The different browser, like, it was freaking out on Safari, and then on Chrome it was like, nope, 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 nope. And I'm like, what is going on? So it was a frustrating night. So I edited some of the photos, and by the time that I like kind of got to that point anyway, I'd already been working for a few hours and the kids were done. It's time for bed, but we were all super frustrated. So it's just like, ugh, time to just stop for the night. Sometimes it's just better to stop. Even if I am a little bit time crunched today, it'll produce a better result. And hopefully Shopify has gotten their BS sorted out for today. I don't have time for that today. It's like, just go smooth. Better go smooth. Or help me. I don't know what I would do. I'm not leaving Shopify. Although, honestly, there are some other options now. It's like, I wish those had been around when I switched. But realistically, when I switched from Etsy, Shopify was the best option. So, oh well. I don't really want to deal with the admin of switching everything over to a different website. And I know I could hire someone for that, but that, no. Okay. So we've got some Japanese fans with modern motifs on off-white. And then, yeah, so like I also changed some names. So like this one, I originally had like making pancakes, but it's not really, it is how to make a pancake, but there's also pancakes. So I called it pancake delivery because that's kind of the 2 big things that you see from this. It's like pancakes and delivery really show up on all of these. So it's like, I did change some of the names. And that's something that I added in on the text as well. It's like, okay. So adding the text went super smooth. I used Canva, which worked so far, which is awesome. It was just getting them uploaded to Shopify was fine. It was getting them like organized in the things. So, because what I'm trying to do is organize it so that you get one, like the main image that has the name on it for whatever variant you've selected, and then, or like as you scroll through, and then the like adjacent supporting photos. So like most of the time the text is on the photo with the zipper. Excuse me, I'm working the frog out of my throat still apparently. Anyway, the text on the photo is typically on like the zipper photo or like whatever it was, the good photo. And then there'll be like, if in the case of a large box bag, there'll be a back photo, there'll be an interior photo, blah, blah, blah. And so that's what I was doing, was making sure that like the first photo was in the same area as all of the photos, so that you're not like having to scroll through the rest of the photos to find the photos for like tigers on navy, right? I would be so annoyed with that. Anyway. And at the same time, I want to make sure that you have multiple photos because it shows you the product better. That's partly why I want to get one of those little like turntables, because honestly, being able to turntable these things would probably be the easiest way to do this. Then you get like 1 or 2 photos and you get a video of it, which would also just be fun. It would be different and it would be fun. Yarn butts. Anyway, okay. There are so many cake cozies. Ugh. Actually, the thing I need to focus on for the next fiber event, and especially in Knit City, is needle stashers and some notions pouches. So, although I've already got the notions pouches on the docket, because we're going to be doing the canvas pencil pouch from Noodlehead. And that'll be good for actually DPNs. It'll be good for pencils, pens, makeup. Like, it's just a pencil pouch. And it's a pencil pouch. And so it's going to be super good for that. But I got to focus on actually getting them into production here soon. That's actually, I've got some work to do with Caroline in the next couple weeks. And then I'm going to be focusing on the canvas pouches because I've got at least one event in Cochrane. That's a little bit more of an everyman event, so a broader audience, and I want to make sure that I have pencil pouches for that one, and also a restock on the bookmarks because there were more than I expected, but I sold quite a few at Knit City. So right now we are working on photographing cake cozies. I'm just popping a cake of yarn into every single one of these because otherwise, it's this that doesn't photograph very well. It just looks like a pile of fabric, and no one knows what it's for. Heck, I hardly even know what it's for. I was just discussing that Shopify was fighting and I was losing yesterday as well, kind of. So we're working through the rest of the photos today. There's a lot to photograph today, and hopefully Shopify has their poop and scoop today so that we can just upload everything. Uploading was fine. It was actually just organization that was the issue. So it was like refusing to, or it would like, it's either refusing to let me see all my files, or it was basically doing really weird stuff when I was actually moving it around. So I'm hoping that that's resolved itself, because it would like move it up 2 rows above where I was actually trying to move it, and it was messed up. I was really annoyed. And then by the time that I was like, just like, nope, we're done. We're not doing it anymore. It's kids' bedtime, and none of us were in a good mood. This poor cake. Okay. It's like leaving lumps in the photos, so I gotta organize this yarn barf a little bit better. I have used and ripped this yarn multiple times, so that's why it's looking a little bit bedraggled. However, it is Ancient Arts yarns, so it's nowhere near as bad as some of the yarn I've worked with in the past, that's for sure. Now with the cake cozies, you can work from the interior and exterior of the cake as well. You can actually work from the center pole, which is like what most people assume with the cake cozy, but I have tested it, and you can actually work from the exterior as well. So if you are doing like 2 at a time socks or something like that, it's perfect for that. And the idea of the cake cozy is that it's a project bag light. So you can take this and you can throw it in any other project bag that you're actually carrying, or purse or tote or whatever, and it'll protect the yarn. It will not protect the project, and so that's the drawback to it compared to like a project bag of like a triangle pouch or something like that, where the triangle pouch is you can put like a single skein like this and your project in, and so you end up being able to like protect your project and your cake of yarn. However, this cake cozy will actually help it from like unraveling and stuff, so that's good. Okay, we have 2 of the cranes, so I'm setting aside the stuff that there's duplicates of, so that when I'm doing my actual stock tippy tapping, I know which ones have 2. It's just, instead of just being like, which ones had 2, and having to go back through the whole pile and figure it out again. So I'm just doing it as it comes to hand, because sometimes I actually think about this stuff and like what's going to make my process more streamlined. Okay, now obviously some of these are a little bit larger. I do think originally I did design these to fit up to like a DK, maybe even a worsted weight cake, but I do market it mostly for a fingering weight cake. There we go. We're gonna put Sassy Cat right at the front. All the Sassy Cat are now referred to as Black Cat, because that's going to be less confusing in the listings. So this is now Black Cat Amongst Roses on blue, instead of Sassy Cat Amongst Roses on blue. So, alright, so there's 2 of them. I'm pretty sure there's 2 of both the Sassy Cats with roses. obviously it's going to take me a while to get that out of my mental space. Let's just stack these up and see. That's an old style. Actually, does the old style still fit? That doesn't look like it's gonna. Oh, it should. Technically, it's the same size. Kinda. Not as good. Interesting. All right. Well, since it's on there, we will photograph it. But yeah, that is a much tighter fit than the new ones. Interesting. Because that's also the old style of making them too. Okay. But it fits, so we'll take it. There's totally a yarn tail out, but that's okay. Okay. Come on, keep going. Oh. And my tag just fell out of it too. So that's just gonna need some repairs. This poor cake. What I should do is I should unravel to the end, because it's right there, and just re-cake this. Poor thing. Okay, so this is bees and strawberries on natural. There are very few cotton linen blends that I will actually make cake cozies out of. I really only made this one because it's light enough to do it with, but it's stiffer. I do prefer them in the actual cotton instead of the cotton linen blends, so that is something that you won't see a lot of, is cotton linen blends. Most, like 99.9% of these are cotton, because it just doesn't hold as nice up top and stuff like that. So the shop update will be tomorrow at 9 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. So that means that I am in the Mountain Time Zone, and we are on Daylight Time. So if you are on Standard Time still, you gotta take that into account and figure out where exactly on the. Oh, we got another scrunchie. Where exactly that is for you. Okay, there's 2 of the cats are back in town. Set that there. Dusty Rose, Tigers, Maiko. Okay, yeah, there's 2 of the Dusty Rose. I thought that there's 2 of the purple sassy cats, but maybe not. Okay. So the last 2 duplicates are the cats are back in town. So we'll photograph them just so they're out of the way. And actually, we're not doing too bad. I thought there was more. It felt like a lot more. So that is actually an improvement over what I thought I was going to end up dealing with. I approve of this message. Okay. Pop it in. So my husband and I are currently training for the Dopey Challenge down at Disney World in January. We have like, I was looking at the date the other day, it was something like 86 days or something like that. We are under 3 months right now, which is insane because we signed up in April and training technically started in July, and next week they want me to run 20 miles. Just like, I am extremely proud of myself for not dropping my training while I was doing Knit City prep. I did drop a couple of my shorter weeks, like just like the 3 mile weeks, which is fine because 3 miles is 5K. That's what I normally do even just on a regular training run. It doesn't actually add to my volume. Well, okay, never mind. Every run adds to your volume, right? Because you're filling up the cup, basically, is the idea behind that. But 20 miles, it's gonna be intense. And like, I am approaching very rapidly, much more rapidly than I wish to admit. I am approaching the point where basically I go and I do a Dopey Mini. So it's like you go and you do a 5, a 10, almost a half, and almost a marathon. Like, and when I say almost a marathon, I'm like, they want you to like walk 26 miles. A marathon is 26.2. So it's just like, I'm very rapidly approaching that and kind of dreading it. But so far the training has worked, so we'll see. I think the cutoff time for the marathon is like 6.5 hours or 7 hours, and the cutoff time for the half is 3.5. So I did the half marathon in Fernie, I signed up for it not knowing that, like, at least half of it is trail run. So I feel like Florida, being that it, like, I went up above the elevation of a helicopter. How? On, like, a deer trail. It was on the side of someone's property. This, like, broken down fence, all of that. And, here I am going up the side of a mountain on a half marathon. I knew that there would be elevation changes. It's Fernie. It's in the mountains. It's always going to have elevation changes. That's not what bothered me. It was the fact that it was this, like, little deer trail, and actually the fact that it rained a couple days before that, like for 2 days before that. And so it's not just that I was running up a deer track. I was running up a deer track that was slick. And so, yeah, they told us that at the beginning. They're like, the Burma climb is going to be greasy. And yeah, that's what it was. That's probably the best description for it. But it was also like, it was slick in a lot of places. Anyway, I set myself a time. I needed to do 3.5 hours or under. I figured I was going to be about 3:20 to 3.5. I was 3:20 flat. And if I'd known that, I would have pushed just like a little bit harder to get that like millisecond sort of under, so that I was like 3:19, 59.99 sort of thing. But that's okay. Next time. Anyway, it puts me on a really good track to actually, oh, there's 2 retro posters. Okay. It puts me on a really good track to finish well and strong in Fernie. My body also didn't feel so beat up the next day that I couldn't have gone out and run again. And was I sore? Yes. But I think you're always going to be sore when you go and you do that much running. It's inevitable, right? So, but some of the high points was the fact that, like, I've been dealing with some plantar fasciitis. My plantar fasciitis was, again, definitely sore, but nothing compared to what it has been in the past. Not any more than, like, I even woke up with this morning sort of things. So that's good, because that's one of the things that I am worried is going to limit my, like, running ability in Florida itself. Is the planters. But I'm working with a physio still, and again, I've got 3 months, so it's very likely that he's basically saying it's like, honestly, your symptoms are very mild for the amount of running you're doing, which is very true. And it's just one of those chronic things where it's like you'll just work and work and work and work and work and work, and suddenly one day you'll just wake up and there'll be no pain. So that's what we're working towards and hoping for. But so far it has improved vastly, and the big thing that's going to improve it more is I need to actually do my strengthening exercises. So it's like I need to go and do my calf raises and some squats, and like I need to do that anyway, because that's going to improve my running ability as well. And I knew that is something that I did drop before Knit City, and now I'll get back into for the next few months, because I will see results if I'm consistent over the next 3 months, which is the awesome part about strength training. Alright, we are down to the last of it, which is awesome. So we've got cake cozies right now, and then we're going to photograph the stitch markers. I still haven't fully decided how I'm going to photograph the stitch markers. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to like spread them out artfully on a canvas pouch, and we're just going to go with that. So there's that. So we got cake cozies, stitch markers. We've got the straps, the crossbody straps for the Kato that I need to photograph, the webbing straps. And then we have big bags, but the weather is gross here today, so I don't know if those are going to get photographed before or not. Should actually see if they fit on this little like purse stand that I use for the large bags and stuff like that, and see if that will work. They might. They should. And then it'll be it's all computer work after that, so I have to finish editing all of this, and then I'm adding in the names for the fabric, because basically we're doing one master listing, and then all of these are going to be variants. They're going to be choices that you can make within that master listing. There's a couple thought processes behind it. As much as I like having what appears to be a full store, it does not benefit my SEO, so Google actually demerits you, basically, kind of ignores you. So I'm going to condense down into one listing per like item with variants, and see if that helps with the SEO and like organic search traffic, which is what I'm hoping will happen. And the other factor of this is then I can start asking for reviews from previous purchasers, because the other problem that I'm running into is the fact that because these are all individual, they don't get relisted, and so you can't really collect reviews on a listing that doesn't get, like, it doesn't show it up. So that's where I'm at. I don't know, maybe it would, but the other part of this is mostly the SEO, and it's going to be easier for me to actually post, because then I just like add the variants into the one listing instead of having to create new listings for every single product with just like a print variants basically. So if the website looks a little bit different, if you've been on there before and it looks a little bit different now, that is why. The listings that are currently up that are like individual, I'm going to leave until they're sold out, simply because I don't want to have to re-photograph them, because I just went through and cleared up a lot of my photographs, and it just, like, because that made sense. I had to make room on my computer and my phone, and I wouldn't have gone through and done this work on those ones anyway, because they're already listed. So some of these look really funny. Some of them are like slouchy. It's like every single fabric acts a little bit different, so like it doesn't matter what I do to make it look good. It's sometimes fabric's just messier, but like this one's like a little bit too large. It will still work, which is fine. It just means that you'll be able to fit a larger cake in there. These are all being photographed on a fingering weight cake. But yeah, it's just funny to see actually. Okay, there we go. And we've got, this one's really fun because it's cats on tins of tuna and fish and everything like that. But one of them is actually Osakana Heaven. And Osakana, so it's basically like honorable fish heaven. So sakana is fish in Japanese, and then it's Osakana Heaven. And it's got this little fish with a, like, angel. An angel fish. Let me see. Not like an actual angel fish, but like a fish with an angel halo and wings. Here it is right here. You can actually see them right there. Oop. Oh, which way? There we go. Osakana Heaven. I didn't actually really know. I bought it first off because I loved the cans of fish and, or like food, and the cats on the food and blah blah blah. Cats. That was it. Cats. And then I noticed the Osakana Heaven, and I'm like, oh, that's a really funny little thing to sneak in there. I love it. So these are Fish Heaven cats, and that is the print name because you can't not do that because of that on there. Okay. I was dreading taking cake cozy photos because there's a lot of them, but actually this has gone faster than anticipated, which is always nice when we're like 24 hours to launch. So these products will be in the shop tomorrow, please, hopefully, right? As long as no like major tech issues happen. Hopefully whatever the issues were with Shopify yesterday, they are resolved today, and I can just tick along. That would be nice. And if they're not, then I'll figure out another, I don't know how to do that. I'll figure it out. Go with a library or something like that. Alright. Get this one done, and then I need some more coffee. And then we'll do the stitch markers, which there's a lot of too actually. If this is the first time that you've heard me talk about the stitch markers, I've got some disclaimers about it that I'll tell you in 1 second here. And actually I will show them. So all the stitch markers are packaged for show events, because I really wanted to use these little glass jars. Ooh, that one needs to be cleaned. Woo. That one is clean. Okay, there's no greasy fingerprints. I don't know why there's, I bet you one of the kids got a hold of it. I was working upstairs on these. Oh yeah, that's totally what it is. Okay, I will clean that glass. But anyway, they've all got these little glass jars. However, these will all need to be packaged in a little box, which means that shipping is going to be like quite expensive. So I'm going to have two options for them, and basically it is going to be a variant on it. And those options being that you can purchase them as a flat pack, or you can add on the jar for $15. And the only reason it's so expensive is that's the shipping charge for it, so that I can pack it in a little box. The shipping, obviously, it's easier to do it that way because trying to figure out how to get Shopify to charge the correct shipping for it when I've got like, basically I'm going to set them for letter mail, but trying to get Shopify to put like the extra charge on it is just, it's going to be too much. Plus it would be weird to kind of put it in the shipping section. I think it could be missed. It's going to be a lot easier to be like add on the bottle, and I'll explain that's why the cost is that high is the shipping. So, but anyway, if I flat pack them, they can be shipped in the little envelope. At least within Canada, I cannot ship it in the little envelope to the States because it needs to be package shipping due to customs going into the States. With the update, I think, to the electronic system, it's just, that's how they have to do it. So this will be a Canadian deal of the little envelope with custom or flat pack, or if you want the bottle, then we can ship it as a package. Now, if you're purchasing with a bag, it'll they usually go in an envelope as well, so we'll still stick to that shipping change, and then I'll refund any overages that there are, like if you buy a bag and the stitch markers, and they're like, if there's overages, there may or may not be. Shipping has been outrageous, and I know, and there's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. I wish there was, even as a small business owner, understanding why people have to like charge shipping. I still hate paying for it. I don't know why. If it's someone that I'm gonna see at like a show in a like reasonable amount of time and stuff like that, I typically wait to till show time to actually purchase stuff, because I'm like, that way they don't have to pay it, I don't have to pay it, and I typically can buy more yarn or whatever. Now I know that's not always an option, so it's like if I'm not going to see them soon, or there's something very specific I want and there's enough, like, then I buy it, because supporting a small business. Actually, speaking of which, I need to start looking for stuff for the kids for Christmas. There's some very specific items on some wish lists for Christmas, so I'm going to need to either start looking for the supplies to make them, or someone who makes them. Kiddos actually went to the dentist for the first time yesterday. Thankfully, we do have health and dental through Dallas's work. Clean bill of health for their teeth, so that's really good. I'm really happy with that, because sometimes it is a fight to get the youngest to brush their teeth. It's like, how often do you brush their teeth? Every day, and it's like, when we don't have too much of a fight. So that's good. Dallas and I go for our tooth checkup in a couple weeks. I hate going, like, I don't know what it is. It's like there's a few medical procedures I absolutely despise. Going to the dentist is one of them. And just, it's one of those situations where I haven't been for a few years. So we'll see what's happening. I think I might have some cavities, which if I do, it's going to be some of my first cavities. And as you can tell from the rate of my speech, I'm already anxious about it. But that's a couple weeks, so I don't have to worry about it. I go and see my eye doctor on Monday, because with the diabetes, of course, there is concerns about like the blood vessels in your eyes. So that's the other one that I don't really like doing, but we'll do it anyway. I do think my prescription's actually changed in one of my eyes, so it'll be good to find out if that's the case. I don't know. I've got like a bit of an astigmatism as well, which just means that your like eye goes from being like round to being football shaped, and I don't know if that's something that can like get worse as well. So it's something I'll have to ask him, because it's like, is it be astigmatism because my contacts aren't fitting as well, I don't think. So, not that, which is why I don't wear them much right now. I'm like, not that I wear them much right now, but that's why I don't wear them much right now, because they just feel weird. And it would be nice to have contacts to wear down to Disney, because then I can just have a pair of glasses, like sunglasses, everyday glasses, so I don't have to worry about like a prescription pair breaking or a child getting a hold of a prescription pair and just like tearing them apart, because that's what my youngest has done to some of my favorites. So that was fun. Oh yeah, after we photograph everything, I'll have to edit everything, then I gotta send out a newsletter so that the newsletter subscribers are informed that there is a shop update tomorrow. Should I have done that earlier in the week? 100%, but it kept slipping my mind, as it just did given the fact that I was just like, oh right. It's still not forefront of my mind. Alright, there we go. I did actually finally email my exchange coordinator back yesterday, and so we had a really good chat, and actually they are trying to get together some like surveys and bios on the some of the previous study abroad alumni. So they're like, do you want to take part? And I'm like, yes please, because I think, if I'm not being modest, I think I'm a really good example of why you should do study abroad, because you just never know what's going to happen. So I just saw that there's an email back from the coordinator for that, and we'll see what they want me to do after all this. There we go. Little macaron critters on white. Okay. The more I work with this fabric, the cuter it's getting for me, because I was like, the color scheme is not exactly what I would typically go towards, but now that I'm actually seeing the products in it, I really do like it. It's better in like cut up and made into stuff. And sometimes fabrics are like that. Actually, quite a few fabrics are like that. Alright, we've got, looks like 4 more cake cozies, 2 scrunchies, and then all of the stitch markers and the crossbody straps. And we're gonna see if the big bags can be photographed in the light box with the little like purse stand that I have. This cake has gotten longer and now it's not fitting as nice. Okay, there we go. We're just gonna finesse it in here and worry about it later. It does actually fit when you're not taking a cake in and out of a cake cozy 3 dozen times in 45 minutes. The cake cozies fit better. Oh well, that's still cute. Still gets the idea across. Alright, 3 more. 3 more. Okay, I'm gonna squish this in a little bit. Insert it messy side down, so that's what gets squished up a little bit. There we go, that looks better. Okay, little hamsters with pastel floral wreaths, super cute. It always reminds me of Hamtaro, which is an anime out of Japan. If you haven't encountered it before, or if you have, it might be a very throwback reference. But that's what I always think about when I see that. Okay, I've got navy tigers here. I'm plotting on our next trip to Japan. I know we haven't even been to Florida yet, but it's like, I think, looking at it, it looks like we're going to be able to go, or we should go in January 2025. At least that's what I'm thinking, looking at like costs and flights and hotels and all of that. So we're just kind of playing around with stuff. It's interesting because it's like WestJet's offering, of course, the direct flights from Calgary to Narita, but only until like October 28th or something like that. But they've partnered with JAL, which is a really interesting move. And if you watched the live the other day, I was talking about this as well. But when I went as a student, that's who I flew with. I flew from Calgary to Vancouver, Vancouver to Tokyo, and I can't remember who my first leg of my flight was with. It's probably Air Canada at that point in 2009. Doesn't matter. Anyway, but I flew JAL from Vancouver to Tokyo, and then like Tokyo to Vancouver when I returned. Actually, thinking about that now, it's like so when I flew into Tokyo on my exchange, my set of flights after that actually got canceled because of a typhoon, which is why I also now 100% dislike landing, because it was this giant Boeing 747. Again, I also didn't realize how special it was to actually fly on one of those, but whatever. But that thing had to go down and up. It landed on the third try, but that meant that we had an ascent, or a descent, and a very rapid ascent, then a descent, very rapid ascent, and then another descent. And like, I have never been that sick on a plane, like nauseous feeling. Anyway, but I just realized flying out, I actually did end up going from KIX, which is in Osaka. It's the Kansai International Airport, to Narita, and I don't even remember that flight. Interesting. Anyway, we don't do that anymore because, and we very likely won't be doing that this time either, because I don't want to be on a flight forever and then put the kids on like another flight. No, that's just not going to work. Part of that being that also it's like, I don't like, we're also not going to go straight from Tokyo down to Kyoto or Osaka because I don't want to be on a train with them for another 2.5 to 3 hours. Now the nice thing is that we will not, well, the Japan Rail Pass costs have gone up so much that we will no longer be participating in the Japan Rail Pass program. So the nice thing about that is it means that we can actually take the faster Shinkansen with, like, since we already have to pay, you may as well pay the extra to get in onto the faster bullet trains. I'm just looking for there they are, the, like, unmarked canvas pouches, because we are on to stitch markers. So if you're joining me and you haven't heard this story, if you have heard this story, I am sorry. Stitch markers all come in these nice little glass jars. What we are going to do is that these are going to be offered as flat pack first, because I can actually put all these little stitch markers on a nice little card. It'll still be packaged really nice and like all of that, but then you don't have to pay ridiculous amounts of shipping, because these need to be protected properly, so they have to be box shipped. I'm not going to throw them into a little like padded envelope because they'll just shatter instantly. So what's going to happen is the price that you see will be for these guys. I'm actually going to just include the letter mail because it's just cheaper to do it that way. And then if you want the little glass jar, however, what you can do is I'll have an option as a variant or like an add-on option, and basically what you're going to be paying for is the shipping for it, and then they'll just get shipped out to you. So yeah, part of my problem is I don't even know how I really want to photograph these, so I think we're just going to kind of lay them out on this canvas pouch, because that's going to provide more of a matte background, which is something I want. All these sets are, unless you're getting the little rubber duckies, are a set of 5 little rubber duckies, and then everything else is one special marker along with 5 beaded markers that are like kind of coordinated to match Oh, these are going to need a lot of editing. Holy. Okay, that's okay. I'm going to move you into the shade like that. There we go. And we're just going to do a flat lay. So let's edit this and I'll show you kind of what it's going to look like. Yeah, I think that's going to work. It just needs a lot of adjustment. Okay, get rid of the shadows and the brightness has to go all the way up. Yeah, that works. So that is it against that nice like canvas background. So it's a nice matte neutral background. Gets it across. And then I guess I'll just take a photo of the jars themselves. Yeah, okay, we're gonna have to do like a hand photo with the jars. Okay, I think I might need a different jar because the kids got a hold of this one with grubby little hands. Yeah, okay. So these will, I will clean it before it goes out, but I don't have another jar to throw these in right now, so it's just gonna go back in there. And then I've got other ones back here that we can photograph on. Eek! When they're empty. Okay, it didn't spill. Good. Yeah, that one's cleaner. Still needs a bit of a rub dum. Yeah, it's better. Alright, so yeah, so the variant will just be for like this. You'll pay for the shipping for it, and then if there's any overages, like if you order a bag and then also order this with like the stitch markers, I'll oh my goodness, I will refund shipping overages because that's just going to be the best, easiest way for everyone to do that. There we go, that's what I meant. All right, so if you want to see any of these are in the shop update video. They, oh no, I did spill because there's only 3 beaded. There should be 5 beaded. Anyway, these are all in the shop preview video, which is on the YouTube right now. The YouTube, my YouTube channel. There we go. Eek. What is going on? Okay, 2 of those escaped, so we're not going to photograph that one right now. Also, you need to go back up because we need you on. Oh, I actually pulled the cord. Eek. Okay. Oh, it's gonna be a day today. Okay. There we go. Oh, they're right here. Seriously, they're sitting right here. I thought that I spilt them when I dropped the little jar. Or rattled them all around. Oh, okay. Some days. Okay, let's get you... Actually, let's try photographing from back here, and then I'll crop it down and see if that works better. I'm happy with the other one, but I just want to see if this is nicer. Go. And then we're going to take away all the shadow, and the brightness has to go all the way up. Actually, the brightness all the way up, and then the shadows down a little bit. No, I like the above photo better. Okay. Get rid of it. These might need a little bit of a cleanup as well. There we go. Done. Alright, there's that set done. So in this case, it's a little heart charm, like a little glass charm, with orange beads. We're just going to photograph all of the same sets here. And then they'll be done. I don't know what I did with the green ones. There they are. Okay. I should actually just set them on their little stand that they have as I photograph them so that they're out of the way. There we go. Actually, someone posted that they're using a little like nail polish stand for their inks, and I'm like, that's what I need for those, because then you could just, they're all in one set of stuff. Although I don't need to worry about that until January. So my next knitting like fiber show is in January. It's Airdrie for the Creekside Yarn Festival. Oh, hello. There's a bunch of them hiding. Excellent. And no, there's more than I thought. Okay, that one's top. If you do order these ones with the little like cylindrical vials, Just make sure that you really push that cork in because it does like to pop out really easily. That's what I've been noticing. So manhandle it and get it in there really good. Okay, I'm just moving them all into like line of sight so that I make sure that I actually photograph all of them. There we go. Okay, so that should be all of them. This. So we're going to do all the stitch markers, and then we're going to figure out if the big bags can actually be photographed on the little like purse stand that I have here. The other thing I do is I make sure that the like little bulb pins kind of match the charms as well. And then I guess the other question is would you be interested in just sets of bulb pins? Because obviously I have a supply. So maybe I'll pop up like a pack of 25 or something like that, just so you have some added ones. Maybe I'll just do some beaded ones, because honestly, it's not that I need more products to make, it's just that the beading is one of the original like crafts that I did as a kid, and so it's very meditative when I'm not doing it around the kids. So there is that. If I'm doing it around the kids, it is not meditative at all. But that's mostly because they want to help, so it's like, oh, you're cute, but you're making it really tough. Alright, blue yellow one. So these are good for both crocheters and knitters because they are bulb pins, so you can use it as a progress keeper or as a stitch marker, depending on which craft you're doing. Obviously you can also use them for stitch markers and knitting as well, but because of the bulb pin you can 100% use them for crochet, which I know can sometimes be a little bit more difficult to find. You can also just use them as zip pulls really if you wanted to. So there's some black ones for Halloween coming up. Now, if you do order anything in the shop update tomorrow, my goal is to have everything shipped out on Tuesday, because I can drop it off in Calgary, and that actually typically saves like at least a day in shipping time versus shipping it out of Cochrane. Come on, beads at the bottom, please. Thank you. Sorry, that is taking way more concentration than I anticipated. Yeah, we're good. Anyway, yeah, so if you order anything tomorrow, the goal is to have it shipped out on Tuesday. I will be around tomorrow if there's any issues. I am thinking that I might come on the live, maybe. I'm going to chat with Dallas because it is like kind of early, but I was on early today. And maybe, because then if you have questions about any of the bags in the shop, what I can do is I can answer questions live and show you the bag and everything like that without actually having to see it in photos. So that's what I'm kind of leaning towards. Okay. Do. Alright. And if you are local to me, we can always arrange for pickup. So local being like Northwest Calgary, to into Cochrane and all of that as well. Oh yeah, I need to run down to Ancient Arts and actually pick up some stuff from there. The white may not show up very well, but we'll try. It might be better to do this one on the black, actually. Oh no. It's gonna be fine. It'll be fine. Ugh. Apparently everything is still waking up. Alright. Go. One little heart, and then we've we've got a dinosaur one, and we've got a space-themed one. And we've got a bunch of little tassels and key ones, which are super cute. And then the rubber duckies. I think we'll do the rubber ducks next because there's only 4 of them, and that's just where my headspace is rubber duckies right now. I cannot demonstrate it in the photos, but the rubber duckies are glow in the dark, which is super fun. And unfortunately I don't have a UV light to actually show that, but they are cute. And I have tested them, they do work. Alright. There is all the heart charms done. Now this is a dinosaur set with pink beads. The dinosaur's really cute. It's a little pink. I think Hydrosaur? I think it's a duckbill, so I think those are Hydrosaurs. You think I would know because we've gone to Drumheller multiple times in the last few years, but I like dinosaurs, but they're not a passion of mine. I'm also very much a magpie with information. So it's like a lot of superficial knowledge of a lot of things. That's the best way to describe it. I did restart my kanji learning program the other day though, so that's an accomplishment. And actually I'm surprised at how much I retained because I have not used my kanji learning program since 2020 based on what it was telling me. Oh yeah, this one is fun. This is the space one. And it's got so it's got 4 charms, so it's a little bit more expensive, but then it's got these little like gold spacer beads to match up with all the like gold tones in the stitch markers. Anyway, yeah, I'm a magpie, so I pick up the shiny information. So a lot of very super information about a lot of stuff. It is fine. I am happy with it. But when I say that, I think it's a Hydrosaur, even though I've probably seen a duckbill very recently. That's why I'm like, I need to pay more attention next time we go. Which there will be a next time because obviously as the kids grow older, they'll just get more and more out of it as well. Okay, so there's all those little bit larger vials done. And then we're gonna do the duckies. Alright, one moment, I'll be right back. Okay, sweet. Just had a lunch check-in with Dallas because he's going on his long run today. So we're doing rubber duckies. No. Oh yeah, there we go. That'll work, I think. Like how to photograph the rubber ducks. Do they sit up? Do I lay them down? Laying them down just looks weird. So we're going to set them up and see if we can do this. And kind of like stack them back and forth. These guys are really light, so don't be worried about that. All of these stitch marker sets are designed to be extremely light. I don't like heavy stitch markers. Probably the heaviest set is actually the little space set because it's metal. But everything else is super light. Oh yeah, that's gonna work. Sweet. I'll edit it and I'll show it on the stream because I think that's super cute actually. Alright, let's see. It's like, why are you editing as soon as you've taken the photo? Why isn't your photo better when you take it? It's like, cuz it's not how it works. Okay, remove all the shadows, amp the brightness. There we go. But they are adorable. So that's what they're going to look like. So you'll get a set of 5, and like I said, they glow in the dark. And then they can also flat pack. They'll go in like a little envelope, and then the same thing with this. It'll just be you pay for the shipping for the bottle if you want it. Yeah, I think that's the fairest way for everyone to do that. If you see me at events and stuff like that, they will be just in the bottle itself. So, just because I like that. And actually, these little guys will fit really well in the little notions pouches. The duckling ones won't as much. And why these ones are so big, even though they don't fill it, is because I needed the top to be able to like drop them through. Actually, that was the big thing. So it seems like the majority of jars are actually sized to this cork. So they don't get any wider than this cork without a lot of searching. So finding ones so the ducks don't fit through that. They will fit in these. Actually, they might look cuter in these. Oh no, they won't, because there's too many of them. Okay, so that's why we're not using that one in there. Anyway, so yeah, so finding like jars that I was able to access before Knit City, that was part of it. That would actually fit the duck through its opening was actually really difficult. And that's why it's like so big compared to the ducks. But the nice thing is that you could buy multiple sets and then all put them in like one big jar too. That's always an option. Okay, they've been photographed. So we're gonna bring my next little shelf here and we'll pop them on there. Alright, so we've got pink, we've got purple as well. So we don't need to photograph the jar again. We're all good with the jar. Lay out the little ducky ducks. Ducks. So these will be listed. I think I'll list them by jar type. So the rubber duckies obviously will all go together. And then the little hearts and the dinosaur and the other one will go in a listing together because they're all within the same jar. And then the little tassel ones and whatever fits into the other little jars will all go into one listing. I think that makes the most sense because then you've only got one jar type you can purchase per kind of listing. Alright, we're going to do this angle here. Yeah, that's cute. Okay, good. Okay. And then we got little green ducks. Duck gooses. They're super cute. I do have other colorways in these as well that I will be posting later. I just haven't had the time, or I haven't had the time. I'm like, normally it's I haven't taken the time to do it yet, but no, I haven't had the time because I tidied up. Dallas just came in and he's like, so, okay, backtrack. If you've been on my Instagram recently, you've very likely seen that reel of me like snap my fingers and it's like supposed to go from messy to tidy, and it just went back to messy. And I did tidy up my cutting studio, and then I promptly filled it with all the stuff I needed to work on. And that was last week. That was what my last week was tidying and like starting to product photograph. Part of what messed it up is I only really got like a dedicated 8 hours because the kiddos, of course, were out of care for Thanksgiving on Monday. So we didn't get quite as much done as if they had been in care. But anyway, that's even cuter actually. I'm gonna photograph this and then I will continue the story. Anyway, yeah, he came down and I'm like, see, like, it's like messy, but at least once this is all done, I get to put it away. And he's like, yeah, you can, like, it's an organized mess. And I'm like, exactly. Because, like, the fabric preview is over there still. I gotta take it upstairs to wash it because that's the next step for the fabrics from May. I will post that video. I realized I didn't actually post that fabric preview yet, but we will get it posted here soon. I will get it posted here soon because I don't know why I always say we, because there is no we here. It is me. Just me. Anyway, so it's like over there. Everything else is kind of spread out because, of course, I'm photographing it, and I've got to keep the piles separate so I know what I have and haven't photographed. All of that. So he came down and he's like, oh yeah, it's like an organized mess. And I'm like, exactly. It's all good. And once the photographs are done, like most of the mess will be gone. And I still contend that if it's not messy, I'm not working. Which do we prefer? It's also just show prep season. Show prep season just wreaks havoc on the studio. And I'm not the only artist or like artisan crafts person that's what it does. So there's our little ducks done. Ducks. Ducks are done. Okay. I'm gonna actually move them off of the stand because the little vials will actually fit on there better as well. So after the ducks, we've got big bags and straps. And then if you have watched the actual shop preview, the purses and wallets are going to be extended out a little bit. I'm going to probably take another week to photograph them properly because they need to go on a mannequin, and like they just need a little bit more time and care. Not that this stuff doesn't deserve time and care, but that in particular does. So we're going to do just a little bit of a delay on them, and then I will, yeah, that's just what's happening right now. Okay. Because I want to take a little bit more time with them and all of that jazz. Plus, there is some sewing I need to do this week. So what I'm hoping to do is I want to get the studio tidied up and then do my cutting on Monday. Because I've got a deadline on the stuff that I need to do, and it is approaching faster than I would like to acknowledge. And that's okay. I'll light a fire under my butt to get the stuff done at least, hopefully. Alright, so there's some cute little keys with beaded stitch markers. Most of these are tassels with beaded stitch markers to go with them. All super adorable. I'm excited about them. I think they are super cute. And again, very light. These shouldn't cause any hand fatigue or anything like that. And they should also not drag on the stitches, because that's what I find with some of the beaded stitch markers is they can get really heavy really fast, like as the progress keepers / like crochet markers, and I just do not want that. There we go. Yeah, that looks really good. Okay. And actually we need to photograph the little jar, give it a little shine here. So yeah, so this is what I mean that I'll list these based on jar shape and size. So like this will be one set of listings, this will be one set of listings, and then the rubber ducks with their large square jars will be another set of listings. Just because I think that makes the most sense. And that's maybe even what I'll call them, is it's like, I don't know, that's probably what I'll call them. Based on their jar shape and size. Mostly their jar shape. So like these will be spice jar progress keepers maybe, or something like that. I don't know. I said that and now I realize I'm like, I actually don't know what I would call them. We'll see. I know they'll be beaded stitch markers, and then I just have to decide how I want to actually like, I guess it really doesn't matter because it's like, just list them all and then I'll ship them in the little container that they suit the best. There's that. That could be done that way. I don't know. I guess we'll find out for tomorrow. Like today, while I'm listing them. Don't worry though, these aren't just going to be dumped in like an envelope if you don't get the jar. They'll go on like a nice card, probably in a little baggie, like in a little organza bag or something like that, so that like they'll still have a nice presentation value. So hunched over. Oh, okay. Sit up straight. Shoulders back and down. There we go. If you're watching this later, take a deep breath. Roll your shoulders. There we go. Now we can get back to work. Come on. There we go. It's like the key was like, no, I don't want to go. No, don't photograph me today. 3. Just make sure that I actually have 5 stitch markers in here. Yes, good. Sweet. All right. Oops. So we watched Encanto finally for the first time the other day. Finally. And so I was finally able to like listen to the actual soundtrack again. So I've been avoiding it since it came out because I heard really good things about it, and I was just like, no, I gotta see the video or the movie first. Anyway, so I've been able to add like Under Pressure to my running playlist, and that's the earworm in my brain right now. That's all I hear, and it's what I'm humming to myself in my head. But it's so catchy. Although I did find that a lot of the songs moved way too fast. So I need to actually go back and listen to them again because they were all really good. But I was like, I can't keep up. Has my hearing gotten that bad? Or is it like a situation of pain where everyone's like, what are you saying? The Bane that I'm referring to is the from the Dark Knight Returns trilogy that I should have had Dallas turn on the subtitles for that one. So like, did I need to turn subtitles on for Encanto? I don't normally need to. Well, unless I'm like watching an actual Japanese anime, because obviously I can understand a lot of it, but not all of it. That's one of the big things I've noticed has improved doing the kanji program is that I am actually able to hear some of the vocab that I learn in the program in anime, which is awesome. I've also changed the program a little bit now. It looks like they're teaching you more, like not just kanji. It looks like they're actually teaching you some of the expressions and stuff like that. Like they had Ohio for Ohio gozaimasu and things. So that's awesome. Because honestly, that's like, I've got a lot of vocab and I have at least a general grasp of a lot of Japanese vocab, but what I need and I'm lacking is vocabulary. There's so much vocab to learn. And I do think that that's probably one of the biggest things for any language. And because it's just a lot of memorization work, it's a lot of work. So doing the kanji is super helpful because it is actually a lot of, literally, what did I just say? Vocab. It's a lot of vocab. And so that's what I need to learn. I do think I'm going to actually go and take, there's like Japanese language proficiency tests, JLPTs, and I think I should probably go do a couple levels just to kind of see like what my grasp of the language actually is. Like, am I at a 40% on whatever the first level is? I think JLPT 5 is the first level. It goes like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Where am I at? Because when I did do my kanji redo the other day, I retained, like, over 3 years, I retained 65% of what I had learned previously. So I'm quite pleased with that, because I'm like, that's, given that I haven't done it in 3 years, and there's 2 very small children in the house, I am pleased with that number. Very pleased with that number. Especially, again, for self-taught as well. So, but a JLPT test would be nice because that would be like an official scored test and I would know how much I actually would retain. So that might be something that I do over the next couple of years just to maintain my language skills. The kids are going to start Japanese lessons in grade 1, and they're just going to like lap me right away. You know it, because there's kids, and they're going to pick it up. And so I want to keep it up. Like, and that'll be good for me too, because it's not like I don't know enough that I can't help. And it'll also keep me sharp because we'll actually have a conversant in the house. But I think I need that, and I think I actually should join like I wonder if I can join the CJCA. So that's the Calgary Japanese Canadian Association. And words. And they have like conversation groups, I think, in their like community hall. So I should do that, and I should actually just take the kids to that, and they would probably have a lot of fun. Just practice. Different people. Gets us out of the house, especially over the winter. So I might do that. Nope. That one is not going to work. It's too suggestive of a shape, so we're not going to do that. I already have to worry about suggestive shapes with my like small box bags and large box bags, trying to show the interior. Alright. That's 3 out of 3 left. There's 2 more. And then we're going to figure out if the large box bags can be photographed in the thing today, because I don't think it's going to get nicer outside, so I don't think... Ooh, that was... Okay. Okay, don't push these ones in as tough. They stay. You don't want to push in so far that you can't get back out, which is what almost happened there. Anyway, I think, yeah, I gotta figure out a way to actually photograph the big bags inside today, just because it's not very nice outside. Come here. Okay, there we go. I also need to do some laundry today because my eldest was like, I want to wear my Halloween stuff. And I'm like, I thought I saw it washed. It's probably in the wash or in the dryer, but I couldn't find it in our actual laundry today. So I need to do some laundry. So that's what I said would happen. Hey, buddy. Oh, we need to go give you your antibiotics. Okay. I will give you your antibiotics as soon as I get these photos done, okay? We're almost done, actually. Okay, so this is the same color tassel, but the beads are like black, blue, black instead of blue, black, blue. So just something a little bit different. There we go. Hey, that looks good. Okay. Focused. There we go. Alright. So there is all the stitch markers done. Phew. It's all this like last fiddly stuff, and I don't know why I leave it to the end, because then it usually does get, I just don't do it. But that was one benefit and drawback to doing the shop preview, is there is no way to skip this stuff, because I've told you it's going to be in the shop. I sound like I resent that. I don't actually. Although it's kind of like, oh man, there's so much to photograph. This is the problem with doing the post show update though as well, as it's like, oh, there's so much here to do. Dallas is always like, photograph it before you go, and I'm like, yeah, but then there's more to photograph, and then it just gets sold. It doesn't actually go into the shop. It's just in and out like this. Okay, so why I'm having dilemma with these big bags is because they're quite large. They're large. So now what I'm wondering is if I take the little, I almost spilled my coffee. Let's just pick this up, which is what it was sitting on. Wondering if I take them and then I put them on there, if that's gonna, no. I'll take a photo of it and show you. That's not gonna work. It is hilarious though. Ah, curses. It's not gonna work. Okay, so usually what I do is I put them on a door to photograph them. do with you. I guess what I could do is I could put them on the door and set up the ring light in front of them. I don't know if that would work. We could try. It's not like it's going to make it worse. I'm just wondering if it needs to be down here or if I should take them upstairs and photograph them against like our closet door upstairs, because I've got a little bit better setup for bags up there. Okay, I'm going to I gotta double check to make sure that I've photographed everything else before we move location anywhere. Oh, I have not. I've actually got one more thing. Okay, so these are the little like phone charm things. Which realistically I should go grab the phone case for it, because that's what you're supposed to put them on, but I'm not going to. Okay, so there's that, and then there's the yeah, and then it's just these guys. Okay, sweet. So we're not too bad. I gotta do all the straps. And realistically, I don't have to photograph all the straps. All I have to do is I need to photograph one of the colors of the straps. So these are all webbing straps. They're all polypropylene straps, because they're durable, and they're cheap. It's cheap. That's what it is. But what I figure is they're a good accessible option for the Kato bag for a crossbody strap. So they're made with a plastic slider or plastic hooks, and these are quite stiff, so I think they're gonna be fairly durable. These are from a supplier in Calgary, and of course it's a swivel hook, so it's not gonna stay there, so I can show you. That's how stiff they are. It's like, okay, I need 2 hands. Anyway, they fit around the like thing. So I'm thinking, and then they've got a plastic slider, and these actually slide really nice, all things considered, considering it's plastic on plastic. They're super long, so they're gonna fit a wide range of body sizes. So I have a 19-inch torso. Here, I'm gonna just turn the screen down a little bit so you can actually see. I have a 19-inch torso, and that hits my like the top of my high-rise leggings. So basically like high hip. And then you add a bag in there, and you're gonna be golden. I am a 42-inch bust, and it's like I'm a D cup or something like that. And obviously, this is ideally going to come through the center of your chest here. So it shouldn't be as big a concern. But what you do is, yeah, you just connect it to a Kato bag. Anyway, that gives you a general idea of size on me, at least. I think this is a 54-inch strap. So that I'll put that in the listing as well. Obviously, you don't have to use it as an actual crossbody strap. You can also just use it as a shoulder strap. Zip it back out. And then you can use it as I don't know why I did it on this side. But anyway, you can use it as like a shoulder strap. And then your Kato can be a shoulder bag. Hi, Flynn. That is what the fluff is coming from the top of the screen. I feel that's like some sort of horror movie stuff. Hi, buddy. How are you? You're good? Yeah, we had to take him to the vet the other day because he has some so him and Dahlia scruff all the time. I'm gonna stand up and finish these up. So these are gonna go on the actually no, I think laying them down on the base is gonna be the best way to do this. I don't know what the best way to do this is. Probably hanging a Kato along with the big bags, but you know. Okay, we got 1, 2, it looks like 4 dark brown ones. I'm just gonna select a prime example of them. They're all prime examples, but some are more prime than others. Alright. Shuffle, shuffle. Okay. I think that gets it across. The main thing that I'm doing is I want to get photos of the color. Yeah, so if I just do them as the shoulder strap length, it should be fine. Okay, so you got 1, 2. Honestly, these I'm not going to track inventory on because I'm able to access the webbing very easily. And like I said, basically I'm just looking to get the colors online. So I can sell multiples and they can be remade really, really fast. Like a couple days sort of thing. At the longest. Okay. Right, we're not worrying about stock. I'm like, I gotta count how many light grays there are, but I literally just said we're not going to worry about that. Yeah, I know. I really actually like the pink strap with the black hardware. I didn't think I was gonna like the lighter straps with the dark hardware, but I really do. Now, yes, they are polypropylene. The other side of this is that I did cut them with a heat knife, so you don't have to worry about them fraying. So they have been like set and melted with a heat knife, and then they've also been reinforced with box stitching or two really good lines of stitching around the actual slider. So right now we're just photographing the crossbody straps that can go on the Kato bags. Just a minute ago, I will actually demonstrate this again since we have a viewer now. You can actually take this all the way out. I think it's a 54-inch strap. I have a 19-inch torso from shoulder, or armpit to waist. And as you can see, it hits my high hip. This is my high hip. And obviously that doesn't include a bag in there, so as soon as you include a bag, it's actually quite good. 42-inch bust. I think I'm like a D cup right now. And obviously it's going to probably go through the middle, so that's not going to be as much of an impact, but it's quite a generous long strap. So it's going to fit a lot of body shapes and sizes and heights, which is one of the big things, because with my long torso I always find it really hard to find stuff that doesn't look weird. It's actually why I like this sweatshirt, is because it's longer and it's not like a crop top on me. It would explain all of my frustrations with clothes when I was a child, of like, why don't my sleeves fit? Because of course your sleeve is like, your arms are generally the same, like they match your torso essentially is what happens. And so like sleeves never fit me, and between that and like the fact that I have broad shoulders. They're not very broad, but they're broad for a woman. I had so many fit issues with shirts, but mainly solved by the fact figuring out when I started knitting myself clothing that I have a long torso, because it's like I would get frustrated because sweaters wouldn't fit, and most of their torso measurements are about 16 inches, and I'm like, actually measured myself from my pit to like where I wanted the sweater to hit, and like the short side of where my ideal sweater hits is the 19-inch point. So that explained a lot of my fit issues. Also explained why my sleeves were typically also always short. I'm like, oh, okay, because this line here is about 19 inches as well. So if you're having issues with fits on your hand knit sweaters in those areas, make sure you measure your pit to hip, or wherever you want, like pit to where you want your sweater to actually reach, and also pit to wrist, or wherever you want your sleeve to also like hit as well, like where you want it to end up on your arm. Because here's the thing, sometimes like we all know we're supposed to do these measurements, really, or if we didn't, this is your aha moment, hopefully. I know I definitely have those. It's like someone says something that should be very obvious. It's like, wait, what did you say? This is both annoying and amazing at the same time when you have those aha moments. And I know I've definitely had them in the past when someone's like, yeah, this is what you do. And it's like, that's how you do it? That's what you do? Oh. Okay, I think the only one we got left is the teal that has been photographed. So I'm not worrying about quantities on these because I have a lot of webbing. I'm able to get more webbing. I'm just worried about getting the actual colors up online. These can be remade really fast. So like I said, I'm not going to worry about stock or inventory on them. Just sales on them. Okay, so the only thing left now are the big bags. If you have watched the shop preview, I'm sorry, I'm going to pick a couple things up so I don't step on them. If you have seen the shop preview, I'm taking some extra time with the purses and the wallets because they need a little bit more time and care to actually get good photographs of them. I want to take them out on a mannequin, take photos on a mannequin, and there's not going to be any sunshine this week. In fact, we are still drying up from rain from the past couple days, so that's where we're at with that. I think with the big bags, we're gonna take, I've got an ironing board hook actually over here on my door. And I think we're going to take the ironing board off and we're going to put the big bag on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you here for a moment. Actually, I'm going to turn you around so you can see the mess in my sewing studio. There's no kids here right now. It's not a big deal. All right, let's turn you around. I'm going to mute the mic though because it can get actually really hairy because of the cords. And just a moment. Alright, so this probably isn't going to be like a perfect view of this. I will shuffle you in a minute once I actually figure out if this is going to work for lighting with the camera and everything like that on the phone. And obviously I've cut my head off again. But, so this is my, I see what I can do. You just need to be turned further. There we go. Hi. So this is the ironing board hook. So what I'm thinking is that as long as I actually, here, I'll turn the mic towards me too so you can actually hear me. I think if what I do is take the ironing board off, I can put the ring light actually casting light on, don't get distracted, casting light on the actual like big bag, and then we can take photos of it from here. I'm gonna have to move the laundry basket that's got the actual fabric from May in it, but let's try that. Cause yeah, it's like foggy and gross outside today. So I personally don't even want to go outside really. Oh no. Okay, we got a bunch of triangle pouches under here to take photos of too. Curses. Or wait, no, I haven't photographed those. All right. And I just realized I don't know if my ring light will actually fit over here or like reach over here. So let's see. We'll try maybe taking the photos first without it and see if we even need it, or if I can like adjust them out, and we might not need it. Okay, let's start there. Then I found a secret stash of like triangle pouches. I don't know if you heard that since I was behind the mic. But anyway, I found a secret stash of triangle pouches under the big bag. So we've got a few more things to take pictures of. Alright. I have a clear space to work-ish. So what's going to happen is like this will go on here. Okay. Let's actually... Haha! And then maybe I'll try and like actually take out... I should do the Canva Free Pro and just do a background remover maybe this week. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Okay. I think. I don't know. No. I'm gonna run upstairs and grab an actual like hi. Just pop into view. I'm gonna go grab an actual like over the door hanger and we'll take photos from that, because this just, oh sorry, you can't actually see what's happening. So basically what I did is I hung it off of the bit that would end up being like the ironing holder, but then that's going to be in frame because of course I want to photograph the actual handles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to get like a proper over the door hook. I've got a couple that'll just clear a few things off of. So I will be right back. I'll mute. I'm back. So this is what I went and grabbed. It's not perfect, but it's gonna be better than this. There we go. Alright, we'll pop this on here. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so that's actually going to be a better frame. Now we just gotta see if I can actually like take the photo with the lighting situation that I have currently, because that's always an issue with these bags. There, and it's nice and 3D. As you can see, the wedge on the bottom is quite large. Let's see if we can do this. Yeah, I gotta move this. Oh, good lord. Okay. It's like, so this is, I've got a laundry basket here of all the fabrics to wash. Ugh. And it's probably about 2/3 of what I bought in May, and it is very heavy, but I need it out of the way because I need to take a step back. Oh, okay, here we go. Let's see. Ugh. What's behind you that I could move? Oh, it's all the zippers. Excellent. Should actually move the zipper tape storage to the back of closet doors, maybe. Oh yeah, why is it here? Why is it not on the back of the closet doors? Because it's like, that would make more sense, because then I don't have to deal with the hooks every time I need to close this door, because this door has to be closed every time I go upstairs. Anyway, what I'm trying to solve there is there's a really stark shadow right here, like it's really dark, and so I'm just trying to decide if that's going to be worth it or not. It's got a nice framing. I don't know. We'll square it up with the door. Okay, I'm going to throw that through the quick edit and see if that's going to work or not. It's like, it is crooked. It kind of is. Okay. Okay, that's too bright. Let's remove the shadows. Hey, I think that can pass. We'll also turn the warmth up a little bit because I think that's what it's really lacking. There we go. Yeah, so I think that is actually going to work. It's not perfect, but I also don't have any time to wait for like sunshine, because I don't think we're supposed to have any sunshine until like next week. I can always retake these photos at least, because it's not that many products. Yeah, like we're under fog advisory until this afternoon, and then it's supposed to get windy. We're supposed to have sun on Sunday, but we're going to go in and do the zoo on Sunday, and that is past the point of the update. So, let's see. Let's go back to that photo again and see what I think of it now that I've looked at it once. Yes, but it does need... Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to add some negative space to the bottom, because this is like too close of a crop. So that's part of the problem. Which means I need to move more fabric out. Oh, except I can't throw it on top because the big bags are on top of there. Okay. This all needs to get moved out anyway and washed this week, so that's why it's going to get tossed into the sewing studio. And then part of the tidying up of the sewing studio is going to be that I move that fabric out. Okay, let's see. Yeah, there we go. So what I'll do is I'm going to tighter crop it to the actual top of the... Here, I'll shift you so you can actually see me and what I'm doing. So I'm going to crop it more to the top of this line, and then there'll be extra like negative space across the bottom, which I think is going to be the biggest thing that actually pulls it together nicely. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now, actually, let's also add the ring light in, as long as the cord can actually reach over here, because I have very few USB slots on stuff, but I'm wondering if I added this on this side. I think if I added it on this side, it would help with that shadow depth. Okay, let's see here. We'll unplug everything else because the phone and the laptop don't need to be plugged in right now. Sweet, it just reached. Okay. Yeah, okay, no, I think that's going to actually help significantly, so let's get this. And then, what else can we do? We can actually, it needs to be raised. Haha! Yes, I think that's actually going to help the most because it's taken away that really sharp edge on this side. So let's retake this photo and see what it looks like now. Da-da-da. Even if it's not perfect, it's like if it cuts down on the amount that I need to edit, that's going to be useful. It does make the back of the, it makes the door really shiny though. Okay, I'm going to square it up to the little frame. Go, and then 100% looks like I have a ring light on this, but you know what? Let's see. Actually, I think that worked better. Oh yeah, 100%. Okay, so this is the photo without the ring light. This is post-editing. It's fairly yellow. Yes, I turned the temperature up on it a little bit, but it's like, that is better, I think, personally. It's got a clearer photo. It was easier to edit. The only thing that I could see that needs is that it needs a little bit of a vibrance touch-up. I would say that the vibrance on that other one's better. But that is the way to go. Okay, sweet. So I'm going to delete those other two photos. Yeah, no. Okay. Yeah, no. Yeah, that looks better. And I'm going to edit. I'm going to also trim it up just a tick more. So that, like, there is some negative space, but you're not seeing quite as much of that door in it. There we go. That looks better. Like that. So now, most of these I do end up going in and I'll edit them on the computer itself because it is easier to do this with a mouse. But being able to quick edit them on the phone like this to see like those minute, or not minute, but those adjustments that need to be made is super useful. But yeah, that is going to need a little bit of a touch up on the color. Like, there we go. The saturation needs to go up. There. And that's what it's going to look like when it goes online. At least, like, as it gets translated from my phone, through the camera, onto your screen, you know, all of that jazz. That doesn't change anything. That is sarcasm. It changes everything. if just in case that wasn't clear, it's like /sarcasm. End sarcasm. Anyway. Let's get the rest of these photos done. I am happy with that now. What I'm doing is I'm just taking a photo of the interior, and that's it. That's all we're going to do for these guys, is an exterior and interior photo. Okay. I'm glad I found a setup that will generally work on these days that it's just like, I am not going to get outside anytime soon to take these photos, so there was definitely days last week that were absolutely gorgeous that I should have been taking these photos, but I was tidying instead, which is dumb. I should have been taking photos. I need to start saving my tidying up for like days like today where it's like, I don't even want to leave the house. Dallas was good. He like, not that he was good, but he was like, you get on your photos right away and I will take the kids to, oh, there we go. That's what's wrong. I'll go drop the kids off at school. Yeah, these are definitely going to need some, like, pretty good touch-ups, but it is definitely better than, well, it's better than not taking the photos. Let's go with that. Better than no photos at all. I love this one with the yellows. Super sunshiny. It's a nice, like, little slice of summer for winter. That's what I'm going to go with. This one's fun because it's like So it's a bunch of cats taking different lessons. So there's musical lessons and computer lessons and ballet and all of that. And it's just like subtle quirkiness, kind of. I don't know. It's cute. The straps on these are 1-inch straps. I find that that sits nicer on my shoulders, even with them being broader. It tends to stay better. And then they are top stitched in such a way that you can actually open the bag really easy when it's sitting on your shoulder. So it's top stitched in a way that like the handles are actually kind of pushed out from the zipper, and so when you close it up, so see they kind of are away. So when you've got it on your shoulder, it's really easy to open and close it. Not quite one-handed, but it's just easier than having the like straps actually run up parallel or right against the zipper at least. Okay. All right, we're just about there. And then right, then we got triangle punches. Keep getting okay. Right. Okay, cranes. This is gorgeous. This is what this was intended for. It's like, just like, look. Oh, the print is so huge that this is mostly what I bought it for. It looks really good on the large box bags, but the big bags are where this one shines the best. All the florals and all the cranes are also outlined in like a gold highlight. That's really subtle. It's just like a little bit of a shimmer. Just spectacular. And the color on this is super vibrant. It's also got, this one's gonna get coupled because it's got a really cool texture. It's not a dauby texture in the back, or on the warp or the weft. The weft. It would be on the weft. But it's like, it doesn't run through the the warp and the weft. It just runs through the weft. But like, look at that texture. It's so cool. And it's just such a gorgeous fabric. There we go. All right. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 more bags, and then the triangle pouches, and then we're done. I will not be live streaming my editing process, mostly because I gotta be doing some other like stuff in conjunction with the editing process. So I need to like go up and do some laundry, and at least start the like washing machine and make lunch. So I will wrap up the live stream once I finish photographing these bags, as well as the triangle pouches. And it's kind of, I don't know, yeah. I'm like thinking about, I'm like, showing my like desktop's kind of awkward, so it's just kind of like meh. We'll just skip that part. Just know that it's happening behind the scenes. I don't know, unless people want to see me edit stuff, but it seems like it'd be kind of boring to watch. I guess it could be some sort of ASMR thing, but not. I can't even do like an audiobook or anything while I'm editing. I don't know why, but I have too much going on in my head to actually even listen to audiobooks while I'm editing photos typically. Maybe some music or something. That's why, yeah. So I am currently in the process of trying to figure out how I could live stream fabric shopping in Japan, because part of the problem that I face is that they play copyrighted music while you're in the store. So I gotta figure out if I can like direction my mic enough that it won't pick up on the actual like exterior noise, which I think this one won't pick up on a lot of like external noise. I think if I point it mostly at my face and you're like, so if you're looking out and I'm holding the camera like right here and it's pointed at my throat, I think we'll be okay. But that's something that we're going to experiment with at home to see if it works. If it doesn't work, I will basically just record. It's like, and I'll talk, but we'll probably do a voiceover for it still. Alright. Cats and floral wreaths on that like aqua that's on the natural linen, cotton linen blend. So it's like a really nice kind of, it darkens the aqua, it tones the aqua down, tone down aqua. I came up with a term for it the other day and used it in one of the listings, but now I can't remember. Oh, dusty aqua. That's what I'm calling it. Because it's like the dusty rose, and it's kind of that same idea of it's like that. It looks like there's a layer of dust on it, kind of. It's just kind of been darkened up by like not having pure white bleached fabric be the base for it. This one's nice because I love how the brown handles and the brown zipper actually picked up and helped like warm it up a little bit. And it like complements the cats on that fabric so well. We got some older bags here that have just never been photographed apparently. So we got some polar bears on navy. Fluff it out here. This one has wider straps, so this has a 1.5 inch webbing strap. And actually just even holding that is not as nice as the 1 inch straps. But it is an older model. It does run a little bit cheaper. Because this was before the fabric prices went up. Before all the prices went up, and I needed to do an adjustment. Probably need to do an adjustment before that even, but definitely needed to do an adjustment after this last fabric trip, so. Alright. I don't know why I did that. That was dumb. It needs to be down here. I'm just folding the bottoms in so they flat pack a little bit nicer. All the bags actually get, once I'm done photographing them, they'll get stored in a set of dressers is where they go. So let me know actually if you're listening and in the live chat if you would like me to come on the live tomorrow around 9 o'clock when the launch happens, so that you can actually ask questions about the bags and do like a live viewing. I feel like that might be really good. I probably should have advertised it better to make it a success, but you know, I think I might add that in with the newsletter information, so that people can know that that's going to happen tomorrow. But I think it'd be a lot of fun. I was like, I'll set up a mini booth, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think we're going to hang out in my basement studio, which is also my basement. And I don't know. We'll just like, I'll just be around if anyone has questions or if there's any issues. Because one of the things that I was having a lot of issues with last summer was shipping. So I'm hoping that I've avoided that with this update. Like stuff just was not shipping out of my new address or something. It was really weird. Everything got transitioned over except for like my stock fulfillment or something like that. I don't know what happened exactly. It was weird. It would explain why my sales did way better in person than online last summer though. So, you know. I think I deleted my old address finally, and I finally found all the places that it was like used, and I think that was the problem. Alright, these are the little Frenchies on the like dark purple. Super cute bag. Alright. Flippy flip. There we go. Tuck those in. Oh yeah. Look at that. Nice, glorious shape. cotton linen blend, so it's got a nice hand to it. Different texture from the smooth, like, quilting cotton. Oops. A little bit different tactile experience compared to the quilting cottons. That's what it is. Alright, we're going to turn back around and we're going to do the last of the triangle pouches, and I just realized I got to finish up the foam charms as well. Yay. So I'm going to mute you for a moment just so the mic doesn't freak out on you. All right, and now we're back on this side. Okay, so we've got... I gotta figure out where I'm actually storing the straps. I don't know where they're going yet. We'll figure it out though. And we will shoop the lights. Go, and then show my face. Hello, I'm back. Okay, so we've got a handful more of triangle pouches. And then we've got the phone charm holder along with the phone charm strap. And I'll show you what I mean by that in... Let's actually do that first, since if you don't want to hang out for me taking photos of these, then you can head out. But the phone charm strap, the idea is... If you're of my generation, you may remember that when we started having cell phones, we could put phone charms on them. And if you've ever been to Japan, you know how big phone charms are. Anyway. So this is a little hook here. It has an adhesive back, and you take off the adhesive backing and you can stick it on your phone, wherever you'd like. Typically I have a pop socket here. The kids broke my pop socket, so we're in the transition right now from the old one to the new one. I'm still mourning the old one because it was really nice. Anyway, besides the point, you take your phone charm holder and you can put it wherever. I would actually personally probably put it up around here somewhere this time on the case, because then it would be out of my way. Well, it'd be on my way like right there. And then what you can do, so I also have the phone charm straps. You take the phone charm strap and you put it, like it's just a half hitch around the phone charm strap holder. And ta-da! You can have phone charms on your phone again. So this might be very specific to my age, but I was thinking about them, and what I was thinking these are super useful for stitch markers. So what you can do, because you can stick that, because it's an adhesive back, you can stick it on whatever you want to stick it on. You could stick it on your iPad or whatever. It is not magnetic. I would not suggest, like, you can't do it with the MagSafe, like, just stick it on there. You have to take the adhesive off and put it on there. But you can stick your, like, say you get a set of these little tassel beaded charms and you want to carry along just a few stitch markers for, like, off the cuff, like knitting or whatever, or you're knitting something. It's like a little mini notions, itty bitty notions thing. Just stitch markers. But as you can see, you can fit quite a few on there. You'd definitely be able to fit this whole set on there. And actually that is how I'm going to photograph it, is with a set of stitch markers on it. Just to start, and then we'll do the various, I've got like 2 different shapes and 3 different colors in most of them. So there's like the circle and there's a heart, and then there's different colors in each of them. And obviously these like to flip over, but it works. The actual cell phone charm strap that's here is a braided variety, which I find is typically stronger than the unbraided variety, because I have had the unbraided variety like break on me super fast. I've never had the braided variety break on me. But yeah, so there's like a whole set of one of those beaded, special beaded stitch ones on there. You could do a day house, like one of the little cat charms definitely on here would work really well. All of that jazz. So that is the idea behind these. They're not going to be super expensive. And actually it would be a really good add-on to put with these little like beaded stitch marker sets. Now the one problem I'm going to have is, how do you photograph that with the idea? Yeah, I really do need a cell phone case. I'm going to see if I can go borrow Dallas's. One moment, I will be right back. Okay, I forgot that he actually has his running program on his phone, so that's not going to work, but I will take a photo of it on his phone when he's done. So I'll photograph everything else right now, and we will worry about that one later. That's fine. Okay, so I think... No, we will sell these separately. Just because it's like, then if you just want to put cell phone charms on your phone, you can do that too. It's really whatever, right? So I'll take just a photo of it. All right. Oops. There we go. We'll turn it that way, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to zoom in. There we go. Okay. So there's the silver. We've got a silver heart as well. And I will photograph these all with the charms actually on them too, because otherwise it really doesn't make any sense. And then I'll photograph the actual little charm strap separately as well. And then yeah, I'll grab Dallas's phone and I'll take at least one photo of the setup on it, just so it makes sense. But like I said, you could use these on an iPad or like tablet or something, like whatever phone, whatever tablet you use, blah, blah, blah. And normally I would just pop my case off, but my phone is absolutely shattered on the back. You can't, oh yeah, there you go, you can see it now. I don't know why they put glass on these phones. It's like the front is already fragile enough, and then you do that. It's so messed up. And typically we don't have a problem, at least because we are OtterBox Stan. That's what we use for our phone cases. They are more expensive, but typically they protect the phones really, 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 really well. But the first round of the ones that we typically use for our phones, we use the symmetry cases, because they typically aren't quite as bulky as like their more defensive ones, and that should be fine. But and I went in and read reviews about the symmetry for the 14 Pros when I went to replace my case, and apparently a bunch of people actually had problems with it breaking their phone. Like, it was not as protective as previous generations of the symmetry case. I'm like, okay, well, that makes me feel a little bit better that I am not the only one that was having issues with it. So, I don't know. Yeah, we have Apple Care, but it still costs quite a bit, because basically at this point what they do is they go in and they replace the whole phone. So we're going to wait a little bit. We were discussing that it's like our contract comes up next year, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to basically claim our Apple Care, because of course it continues until like 2 years basically. And I think we're going to just get new phones just before the Apple Care comes up, and then we'll just pay off the rest of the phone when we actually come up to the end of the contract. We have been doing like, TELUS has a good deal of like, if you do want to switch your phones every few years, they've got what's called Buy It Back. And it's a good program because it means that like you don't pay basically for the phone up front like you normally would. And then you have a guaranteed amount when you take it back, as long as it's in good shape. Obviously, this is not in good shape. Like, I couldn't return this phone and get my Buy It Back amount. But the Buy It Back amount is like almost half the cost of the phone. Versus like if you took a phone in that's only 2 years old and you didn't do that program, you might get $100 for it, right? It's super annoying. Anyway, we were discussing, it's like, honestly, the amount of actual improvements on like the camera and the phone itself, there hasn't been enough in the last couple generations. So unless something absolutely amazing happens with the 16, which will probably be out by the time we do our contract next year, we're just going to pay the amount of the Buy It Back then, and we'll just buy the phones, and then we'll keep it for another generation or two until it starts really like degrading in quality. So at this point, it's just not worth it. Okay, so that's a little gold heart. And I really just don't want to keep going in and having to like exchange it every few years. That's my big thing. I don't want to exchange it every few years. Okay, there's a little gunmetal. Okay, so we've got a silver and a gold heart. Doki doki. And then we've got silver, gold, and a gunmetal circle. And it's hard to show because it's metal. So those are the options that we have for colors and shapes. And then we only have the rainbow braided self. I don't know why I say we. It's not a we, it's me. Me, myself, and I. Anyway, I need to stop that. We just have the braided multicolor cell phone charm. But, man oh man, it is a nice setup. And then there are some really cool charm makers in Calgary as well. I found out about the cell phone charm holders from one of the makers in Calgary, so that was super awesome. And then I was like, how can I apply this, because I really want cell phone charms again. And then I've thought about it. I'm like, do you know what would be really good for is stitch markers like this. Okay, I'm not gonna fumble with that on camera. I'm just we're going to ignore that. That all those stitch markers are on there. We're just gonna photograph this by itself like that. And then the nice thing actually I think is that I think you probably can just pop this all into, or is it, can we? Yeah, okay, so if you really want to, you could actually just pop all of that right into the little jar that they can come in, and that would make a really nice little present for some knitting friends. Because of course we're coming into the holiday season. If you haven't already had your holidays, I'm thinking like Ramadan and stuff like that. Oh, they're a little bit harder to get out. Oops. You can get there though. Phew. I was really worried I was gonna get this stuck on camera. Okay. I can actually feel myself getting hot. Okay, we're done. I will take those off of that after I'm off camera. Okay, so we're just down to triangle pouches, and then I will head out because I will be on lunch duty today, and I need to get these editing. So we've got some nice returns. I think this is the last of this fabric of like cats and dogs living together. It's little cats with little Frenchies, super bright, nice teal fabric. It has been around for a while. If you've been following me for a while, you will recognize this fabric. And I may find some scraps of it, but I'm pretty sure this is the last bag out of it. So it might be like, there might be some accessories fabrics left, and that's it. Alright. Down to the last pieces here before editing. I think we've got like 7 or 8 bags to actually photograph. This is one of the OG fabrics. Again, coming down to the last of it. You might recognize this as some of the wristlets that I've made recently. Probably because I've cut up the leftovers from a knot bag recently. I've got a bin of stuff that's like, this is going to be processed into like triangle pouches and the like. Basically is what happens. And so that's what I did a little bit before Knit City so that we could have some new knot bag or new triangle pouches and stuff. Although it's nice to do these scrap ones because it does break up. Like otherwise it was all stuff that I just bought in November. And so having the triangle pouches and a few of these other things like this is nice to break up the monotony kind of it's just pancake delivery. It's just citrus. It's just whatever. Whatever is kind of like the flavor that I made that summer. So this added some different fabrics into the mix again. Especially since, like, given that I haven't been for a while, obviously the new fabrics are definitely going to be the popular ones, but there were definitely some leftovers of popular fabrics from before, and I've been working to like down the stash over the last little bit, and in part because it's like I didn't know when I was going to be able to go back either. Obviously now I have been back, but like last year I didn't know. So there's definitely some development of products that like were stash economical. There we go. Alright. We're just about there. Little peppy budgies on pink. Super cute. Oh, except it's not finished. It's actually got a gap. Okay, out of here. We'll fix you later. Usually I catch that stuff when I've turned it, but obviously sometimes it gets through quality control. Me and the cats, apparently. That's okay. I'm glad I caught it now, though, before it actually left the house. Left the stock, left the house, all that jazz. You need to be floofed a bit more. There we go. Am I talking to my bags? Yes. That's why I like live streaming, because it lets me talk to people sometimes. Okay. Oh, excuse me. My youngest woke up in a mood last night and then like went back to sleep. It was fine. They kind of rolled around and then I think they must have resettled, and then about 20 minutes later they woke up again and we're just like, no, I'm done with this. But also woke up the eldest, and then neither of them would come into the bedroom, so we had to go collect them. And it was just like, guys, you know how to come down the hallway. Your doors are cracked open so that you'll just come into the room and chill, and it's not a big deal. But no. And then the youngest woke up in like just not happy this morning. It was a rough wake up. And it was early, so I'm just like, excuse me. Maybe I probably should go have another coffee. I will go make myself another coffee while I'm editing, because this is going to be a long day of editing and getting all the product variants done too. Now, so what the process now is, I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to edit all the photos, so I have like a break in my environment, change in environment, and so I can cook lunch. It is a little bit early for lunch. I'm not too worried about that right away, but it's just, it'll be nicer. And then, so I edit the photos, and then I import them all into Canva, and we're going to add the text onto them. Like I said earlier, that I'm adding the variant names to at least one photo of the set, because I'm thinking that might help people keep them straight. Because when you select a variant in Shopify, it takes you to the photos. But if you're just scrolling through the photo options, it's not going to take you to the variant. So like if you say you want pancake delivery, and it's all the way at the bottom. So you select pancake delivery from the drop-down menu, it shows the pictures of pancake delivery. But if you scroll through the photos and are like just looking through the photos casually, and you get to pancake delivery at the end, it's still all the way up at like popcorn, which is the first listing, or whatever the first listing is. So I was like, okay, so with these massive variant listings, I'm going to add the title onto each of these photos. Yesterday, Shopify really fought me in moving those photos around, because then what I want to do is match the photo up with the other variant photos, because of course with, like you just saw, I took 2 to 3 photos of the same bag before I'm done. So I take like a side view of the triangle pouch, I take a front view, and I take an open view so you can kind of see the lining, see what it looks like on the interior. And so basically it's going to be a title photo, and then it's going to be these 2 photos, but I want to have them adjacent to that title photo, because then when you click the variant, you end up being able to see all of them at once, instead of having like, yeah. Anyway, I hope it streamlines the process and makes it easier for everyone to see, because switching back to this like mega variant, master variant like listing is going to be a change, because typically I have listed everything in the past. But I think for the sake of SEO, limiting it to the one and then being able to get reviews on it as well is going to be super useful for everyone. Anyway, that is the thought process behind it. That is the next steps in the process to actually get this shop update done. We are T-minus 22 hours, and I do need to sleep at least some of those. And, you know, interact with my children and my family. That's usually appreciated. So I am all wrapped up here. Everything has been photographed. That's going to be photographed today. I hope you guys all have a fantastic day. I am going to be writing up the newsletter, and that will give you a link directly to the update. So if you want to find out about this stuff without watching me on live streams, that is the way to do it. I hope you, again, yeah, have a fantastic day, and I think I will be back on tomorrow. I'll let you know in the newsletter for sure. So, bye.